All right, guys, I appreciate you. I was talking with the team a little bit afterwards, make sure I checked on every player. So I'm sometimes slow out of the locker room, so I appreciate your patience. To start this off, I just tell you right now that I'm proud of the way the team fought for 60 minutes. That's something I really wanted to see. You guys asked me earlier in the week what I want to see from this team. I want to see a team who played together for 60 minutes and fought regardless of score, circumstance, or situation, and I saw that. I'm proud of the way our guys played. Now, obviously, there's some things we have to do to clean up. The mark of a good team is the improvement you can make moving on from week one. This next week will be a big test, but we've got to stop with the turnovers. We've got to eliminate the unnecessary penalties. We have to do better at the end of the half. All right, and we have to finish ourselves in the red area. So those are the big things that stuck out right there. I'm sure there's a litany of other things you guys want to ask about. So at that point, I'm going to open up to some questions.
Duggan?
Hey, Joe. Just wanted to get your first analysis of Daniel's performance and then what you saw on the interception down by the goal line.
Well, you know what? First off, I like the way he played aggressive, okay? He stood in the pocket. It was obviously a strong rush coming at him all night. He played confident in there. He stood there as long as he could. He delivered some good, accurate passes for us. He had 2 throws I know he wants back, down at the goal line. That's something we can't have happen. Look, I'll talk to Daniel a little bit more about it. I'll watch the tape, make sure we clean up everything involved. That's definitely something you can't have, 19-play drive and come away with no points, especially down there in the low red. That's not acceptable, but I'm proud of the way he played aggressive. I'm proud of the way this team on the bench stuck together.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Dan.
Chris?
Hey, Coach, big play early in the game. You recovered a muff punt. And at third down play, looked like Ingram was trying to kick out there. Did Jones miss him, or did Ingram not run the proper route?
You know what? I got to check the tape on that one before I give you a final answer on that. I just know that in that situation right there, we want to come away with 7 points. We got the field goal down there. It was an opportunistic play by the special teams, taking advantage of, a muff punt. That's something we were kind of figuring was going to happen at some point in this early games, all right, with some of the guys not getting preseason experience. We were ready for it. Our guys took advantage of it. They did a good job getting on the ball and advancing it to get our offense, position. But, we've got to come away with better points than just 3 right there.
Pat Leonard?
Hey, Joe, obviously the Steelers were keying on Saquon Barkley in the running game, but what do you guys have to do better? What can you control to succeed there and keep that going and win some battles?
Specifically with what, Pat? With Saquon?
In the run game, the offensive line, and just getting the run game going and not letting guys blow up into the backfield.
Yeah, every week's going to be a little bit different challenge based on the scheme we're going to see. That's obviously a very talented front we played tonight. But, look, we're going to stay aggressive with the run game. All right, Saquon's a key part of our team. He's going to be a difference maker in how successful his team's going to be. So we're going to stay with him. We have a lot of confidence in him. I have a tremendous amount of confidence in our offensive line. Look, we're going to watch the tape. We're going to clean up what we have to. It's going to be a different opponent next week with a little bit different challenge. But it's obviously something we have to improve on in the run game. That's not something we're going to shy away from. We have to improve on that. But, listen, I have all the confidence in the players, the offensive line, the skill players, and we're going to keep leaning on these guys. And that's how we're going to have success with the men we have in the locker room right now.
Thanks.
Zach?
Hey, Joe. How'd you feel like your cornerbacks played? I know you had a few different guys that lined up against Juju in particular, and a couple of the touchdowns. One of them was Isaac was covering them, and I'm just curious how you felt like those guys did, especially in a tough spot tonight.
I thought overall they competed for 60 minutes. This is a team that makes a lot of explosive plays. I think Pat was able to limit some of the production early on, really do a good job against the run game early on, forced me one-dimensional, put a lot of pressure on Ben. That was good for our defense. That limited some of the exposure the guys had. They made adjustments. They're a good team. They're going to take shots down the field. That's a very talented team. It's a very talented offensive skill group. When you play the Steelers, you have to understand they're going to make plays. These are talented guys. They're a good team for a reason. They're going to make their plays. You just got to stay disciplined and committed to the process and eventually work to make more.
Thanks, Joe.
Ralph?
Hey, Joe. I think with Saquon, I think it was 10 of his 15 carries, he was hit behind the line of scrimmage. 8 of them went for negative yards. When you hear that and see that, is that all the offensive line? And also, when that's happening, I know you want to stick with the run, but does it kind of hurt you more than it helps you just to even try to run at that point?
I think you have to have confidence in the game plan and stick with it as long as you can. There's going to be certain adjustments you have to make in the game based on how the opponent's playing you. But, we're not going to give up on the run. We have confidence in our offensive line. We have a lot of confidence in our backs. We're going to give Saquon the ball a good bit. He's an integral part to how we're going to be successful. I got to look at the tape before I give a lot of final answers. A lot of things you see on the field. I don't want to overreact emotionally. I want to watch the tape cleared up, make sure I have all the information. Obviously, it's something we have to clean up, but I have confidence in our offensive coaches and our offensive personnel that we're going to make those adjustments. We're going to clean it up. We're going to come back strong and make improvements going forward.
Sorry, Joe. I'm there.
Oh, go ahead, Art. Go ahead, Art.
Joe, specifically, the way you guys played up front defensively, do you think that you guys ran out of a little gas in the second half? It seemed like Leonard specifically and Lorenzo were really causing havoc. And then in the second half, it seemed like the Steelers were able to kind of give Ben some time and make things happen that really cost you down the stretch.
There's no excuses there. I mean, look, both teams had the same opportunities to prepare, the same, circumstance to play in. We've talked about it throughout the weeks. It's the first time anyone's had an opportunity to be out there for the duration of time we have had today. I thought our guys overall had good conditioning. But towards the end, you saw both teams a little bit winded, and they were able to make some plays at the right time. You give Ben an opportunity to sit on back there. Eventually, he's going to find somebody and make some plays. So, look, I'm proud of the way the front played, especially early on. They were able to be disruptive, create some havoc. I love the energy they played with. Look, throughout the year, we're going to have to improve our condition, and nobody right now is in a full game condition in the league. So, across the league, you watch 32 teams. All 32 are going to have to consistently work on that over these next 4 weeks to really get in that game shape for the duration of the season.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Art.
Lombardo.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Matt.
I'm curious, watching Nick Gates and Cam Fleming tonight, it looked like maybe they kind of struggled with some of the stunts that Pittsburgh threw at them up front. Just curious your thoughts on them and kind of how you can get better in that regard moving forward, especially against another tough pass rusher in Khalil Mack next week.
Yeah, we definitely have a tough front to face next week. The only way we can improve on any of that, Matt, is really just by going out there every day and practice and putting our players in the positions they're going to have to play in the game. So we have to do a better job as coaches of giving them the looks they're going to see. Pittsburgh's a good team. They make adjustments. They're not going to stay in one front throughout the game. They're going to give you different looks. Chicago's going to be much of the same story. So we've got to do a good job, starting with myself, of making sure our players see everything they're going to face possible.
Thanks.
We got time for two more, Jordan and Dunleavy. Jordan.
Hey, Joe. What did they do exactly to give you such a hard time in the run game? And was it, was it what they did, or was it partially, in your opinion, of, your guys not performing up to what you expected?
I mean, we always like to take the approach, Jordan, that, it's up to us to control whatever comes our way. I don't like looking at the opponent too much and thinking they're dictating anything. We have the opportunity to react and be prepared. So, I got to look at the tape and give you an exact answer later. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of things I don't want to misspeak on right now and take a final look at the tape. Obviously, they had a lot of good players up front. They did some movement, did some stunts. They changed the fronts a little bit on us. But, ultimately, we've got to make sure that we handle whatever comes our way.
Last question here, Dunleavy.
Joe, I noticed you stood between Dalvin and Jabril as they were kneeling and put your hand on their shoulders. If you could just talk about how that came about and any pregame conversation with the team on kneeling and how you decided what you were going to do.
Yeah, real simple. Nothing was scripted in terms of who stood next to me or who I was touching. But look, we made a decision as a team. We're going to respect everybody, okay? And as a team, the thing that makes you special is you respect everybody's unique background, okay? And you can move on. So we went out there. We respected our players' right, okay? We respected our players' all right choice to handle it how they wanted to handle it. I'm proud of the way our team handled it, all right, in terms of, sticking together and not letting anything externally divide us, all right? We moved on from the anthem, and then we played 60 minutes of tough football where our guys were committed to staying out there and working together in entirety. So, look, to me, the players have a choice, okay? We talked about it as a team. We had a lot of conversations we always do. We're very transparent as a team. I respect everybody in that locker room, and they respect each other, and that's what's important.
Saquon, your stats for today weren't great. Just talk about what happened in the running game and maybe why it didn't work very well.
Not really too concerned about the stats. You got to give credit where credit's due. They have a great defense, especially defensive front, and they made some plays, and we weren't able to win the game today.
Lombardo.
Hey, Saquon. I think you were hit behind the line of scrimmage like 13 or 15 times tonight. How much harder is it to get going when you can't get downhill against a front seven like that? And what do you guys need to do to get better going into next week?
We just got to go back and watch the film and learn. Something I'm proud about the team today is the way that we fought, especially when we were hit with adversity. So we just got to go back, watch film, continue to believe in each other, and come ready to work next week and get ready for Chicago.
Zach?
Saquon, you talked about how you guys were going to have a lot of discussions about how you'd handle the national anthem. I know some people kneeled, some stood. I guess, what were those discussions like, and why did you ultimately decide not to kneel during the anthem?
We definitely had some discussions about it, but then we kind of came to agreement as a team that it's your right to have your own decision, and we're gonna stand with each other. So if you stand, you stand. If you need, you need. But we all gonna respect each other's decisions, and So for me personally, I respect everyone that's kneeling. I respect everything that's going on, but I want to continue to fall back on what I'm able to do in my community, and try to be a leader in that mindset, that aspect, and try to make change that way. Everyone that needs or stands, I kind of respect it all, and I kind of just did what I normally do.
Thanks.
Tom Rock.
Saquon, that third quarter drive there, 19 plays, comes up, you come up with nothing, an interception. How much of a backbreaker was that for the team?
I guess you could look back and say at that moment that that hurt us, but you don't know what could have happened in the rest of the game. We just didn't execute the rest of the game. We had a really good drive. I don't know how many plays it was. Like you said, I think you said 18 or 17. They made a play. And at the end of the day, even after that, we still were in the game, and we still were able to find a way to win the game, and we didn't do that. So that's the most important thing, is find a way to win games, and that's what we have to be able to do better.
We got time for two more, Mark and Jordan. Mark?
Hey, Saquon, how strange was it to play a game that matters in a situation like this? You're so used to playing in front of big crowds. What was tonight's situation like?
It's definitely different maybe on play one, but you get so locked into the game that it really kind of don't have an impact. When Slade scored that big touchdown for us, it felt just like a normal game. So, obviously we would love to have the fans there. So we have amazing fans, and we know that they're cheering from home, and we know what's going on in the world. But unfortunately, that's the case, and we got to go out there and continue to play the sport that we love. It's a blessing. You got to look at it as a blessing in disguise. We still are able to go out there and be able to play the sport that we love.
Last question here, Jordan.
Saquon, you said you're not too concerned about the stats. Stats aside, what's your self-assessment of how you played overall?
I got to be better. I got to be better for the team. Got to find a way to get the run game going. That's just how I truly believe. I got to go back and watch film to give you an honest answer. Can't just talk off emotions, but one thing that just pops off in my mind is find a way to get the run game going for this team. I know that's going to be a key part of our success, and I truly believe in it, and I still believe in it. And, just keep grinding at it, keep working at it, and find a way.
We saw you, the camera panned to you. You looked really frustrated at times on the sideline and stuff. Well, what was it that was sort of getting to you? Was it the success? Was it just the lack of success, or was it specific, schemes that they were doing that were disrupting you?
I guess I probably showed a little emotion on my face. I'm human at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, the moral story is we're going to win the game. And that's the only thing I'm about, is trying to find ways to win the game. And that's going to be my whole mindset coming back this week and getting ready for Chicago. What can we do, and what can I do as a player and in the team to put us in better positions and give us a better chance to win the game?
Hey, Daniel, I'm curious what you saw, what happened on that interception at the goal line. I guess, can you just take us through what went down there?
Yeah, obviously a play I'd like to have back. I'd like to have the chance to look at it with the coaches tomorrow and really look into it. That's a costly mistake there after a long drive. So something I gotta work on and improve on.
Tom?
Hey, Daniel, there was a lot of optimism heading into the season. Does this take a little the air out of that optimism?
No, I don't think so. I think, as a team, there's certainly things we need to clean up and tighten up, learn from this first game. But you know, I think as a team we showed what we can be, and you know, like I said, opportunities to improve, opportunities to learn, and we'll look to do that, but attack those opportunities with the same enthusiasm and the same you know, energy that we had going into this game. So you know, I don't think anyone's discouraged. I think guys are you know, if anything, motivated and looking forward to you know, next week and the next challenge.
Pat Leonard.
Daniel, that drive, that 19-play drive, you made so many good, gritty plays in that drive. I think you were 4 or 5 on third downs. When you're going like that, does that cause you sometimes maybe in a situation like that at the goal line to get, I don't know, overconfident? Like, is it tougher to throw the ball away or to abandon a play after making so many plays to get yourself there?
No, I mean, I think you play every play independent of the other, you know, focusing on executing that particular play. And you know, like I said, I want to, you know, have a chance to go back and look at it and learn from it. But, you know, we can't afford those mistakes in those situations.
Lombardo.
Hey, Daniel, the turnovers aside, how would you kind of, you know, rate out your performance tonight, and just how much more frustrating is it to be out there against a front that, you know, had 22 pressures and 11 hits?
Yeah, I mean, I think as an offense, I thought, you know, we did some good things and some not so good things. And, you know, I certainly feel like I was, you know, I played, you know, good at times and bad at times. So I think, you know, we got to do a better job being consistent, you know, avoiding the bad plays, avoiding the big mistakes. And, you know, I'll certainly work to correct those things. So, you know, we got to be more consistent and execute at a higher level.
We got time for 3 more. Mark, Duggan, and Dunleavy. Mark.
Hey, Daniel, what went into the decision on how you guys handled the pregame with the anthems, please?
Yeah, so we had a team meeting and discussed that, and you know, we came to the decision to let everyone you know, do what they felt in their heart was the right thing to do, and respecting each other's you know, respecting each other's decisions. So you know, I think that was the way we approached it. You know, we've had a number of discussions as a team, you know, leading up to this week and, you know, dating back to the spring. So, you know, as a team, we respect each other. We support each other. And I think that was, you know, the way we felt was most appropriate to go about that based on a lot of discussions we have had, you know, dating back to the spring.
Duggan.
Hey, Daniel, 2 questions about the opening drive. On the delay game, were you guys trying to run the play and just got a delay game, or was that something you're trying to draw them off? Or?
Yeah, I mean, that was a 4th and 1 situation right there, and you know, wanted to get out of the huddle a little quicker than that. So, yeah, situation trying to use a hard count.
And then on the after you get the muff punt, the 3rd down with Evan, why do you think you guys weren't able to connect on that when you think back on it?
Yeah, I just got to do a better job, you know, trying to extend the play and let him find a little space in there. So, you know, I'd like a chance to go back and look at it.
Thanks.
Last question here, Dunleavy.
Daniel, 2-parter. Why did this look like last year with you and Slayton? Why do you think you guys have such a good chemistry? It seems like, you know, there are games where you look for him first. And then do you ever wonder, with Golden Tate hurt now, do you ever wonder if you're ever going to get to play a game with all your weapons? Because it's 17 in a row where it hasn't been that way.
Yeah, I thought, you know, Darius did a good job tonight, and you know, he's had a good camp and you know, came in ready to go. So, you know, certainly have a lot of faith in him. I got a lot of faith in all those guys. You know, we got out there, and I thought guys stepped up and made plays across the board. So, you know, I know Golden's working to get back, and you know, I think he'll be back when he's healthy. So I'm looking forward to it, and you know, we got a lot of guys who can make plays. So, you know, my job is to get them the ball.
Hey Blake, I'm just curious how you felt like you played tonight in your first game. I know you had a few big plays there. I'm just curious how you evaluate your performance tonight.
Oh yeah, I want to look at the tape before I know exactly to assess myself. But I felt like kind of going out there, first circumstance with not having fans, first game with a new team, new defense and everything. I felt confident out there. Felt I knew what I was doing. Was able to play fast, be aggressive, and just go and make plays at the line of scrimmage.
And the defensive line, it seemed like, was wreaking a lot of havoc on Ben Roethlisberger, giving a lot of trouble, especially like Leonard Williams and Lorenzo Carter. What'd you see out of those guys?
No, both amazing players. It was just they went out there and did their jobs and made big plays. That's what we expect from them. And it's just awesome to see those guys. Each and every one of us on defense has just been working really hard together, and it's cool to see guys go out there and perform well.
Thanks.
Lombardo.
Hey, Blake.
Hey.
Hey, when you look at kind of along those lines, when you have Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence both really creating a lot of pressure up front, how much easier does that make your life as an inside linebacker? And just, how gratifying was it as a front seven to generate the kind of pressure you guys did tonight?
No, it's huge. First day I came here and we were actually able to be in person, and I got to see those guys in person stand in front of me. I told Pat, I was like, thank you. And then kind of moved on from there. But like I said earlier, they did a lot of great things tonight, and it just kind of trickled on back to help every one of us out there.
Hey, Blake, what do you guys think that you did well as a collective defense today, and what do you think you guys need to clean up? Seemed like you had a really strong first half, a lot of good energy, but obviously the final score doesn't reflect that it was good enough.
No, yeah, I think once again, just want to kind of be able to check the tape and see completely what happened to kind of assess it and have that answer. Overall, I think we had, like you said, great energy across the board, and we're just working to keep getting better. And just like Coach Judge tells us every single time we practice this week, was the big jump from week 1 to week 2 is where good teams show up.
Thanks.
We got time for 2 more. Tom Kennedy, John Levy, Kennedy.
Hey, Blake, how you doing?
Good.
Can you tell what happened in the second half? Because it seemed they were able to get their running game going.
Oh, yeah, I think there was just little things here and there. Once again, I don't know exactly the complete answer because we want to obviously check the tape and see where things kind of went wrong in certain situations. But I'm guessing it, at the end of the day, is going to end up being our fundamentals, our technique, our job, our assignment for that given play was lacking. And I think that was kind of a collective thing throughout the game for us on defense. We kind of hurt ourselves in the grand scheme of everything.
Last question here, Don Levy.
Blake, you guys give up that score there right before the end of the half. What is it, and was there something there that happened that went wrong?
Yeah, I think once again, I'm just going to have to check the tape on that portion once we are able to see it tomorrow or the next day.
But momentum-wise, what does that do? Because you played well, and then all of a sudden you're going in, down.
No, yeah, it's definitely a tough moment to obviously have that happen. We always talk about good teams are good in the red area, 3rd down and 2 minute, and obviously that was a 2-minute situation, and we needed to stop them, and we didn't do that, and obviously we had to refocus and readjust to start the second half.
Tom Rock.
Lorenzo, can you just talk about, let's start with the pregame stuff and sort of how the team came to its decision, how you came to the decision, and you seemed especially moved by the when you were lined up on the goal line.
That was just a team decision. We came together, we talked about the situation, and just decided that we're not going to put too much into it. Just those 3 minutes or those 2 minutes really shouldn't be a distraction for us, and Coach made it clear that it's not going to be a distraction. So we just said, do what's on your heart, and that was on my heart, and everything we did was genuine, and that's really it.
Leonard.
Lorenzo, how do you feel you guys played as a defense? It seemed like you were aggressive early and effective at times. Of course, didn't hold up through the full 4 quarters, but I want to know what you think you guys did well and what you need to improve on.
Yeah, like you said, I think we came out with a great mindset, ready to play ball. It's been a minute since we got a chance to go out there and play somebody else, so we're really excited to go get the opportunity to come do that. But just we know we got to keep getting better. It's game 1. We got to get in the lab, got to go watch the film, and got to go correct the mistakes we made. But I think we definitely put it out there that we have something that we can build on.
George?
Hey, Lorenzo, what did you learn about your defense as a whole from seeing what you guys did tonight?
I mean, I really haven't had a chance to watch the film, but from being out there with the guys, I know we got some fighters. I know we're going to go out there, we're going to scratch claw, and nobody gave up. Even at the end of the game when it was really kind of over, we went out there and just kept fighting. And that's what we're going to do. Week in, week out, we're going to keep fighting. We got fighters on this team, and that's nothing new. It's nothing I didn't see all camp. And we're going to keep doing it, keep building, and just try to keep getting better.
Art?
Lorenzo, just to piggyback off of that, you've been here for some tough times. Why do you walk out of this stadium believing that this is a different team and a new chapter for what you guys were able to do tonight?
I just see the progress we made. Trust the coaching staff. We put in the work. All the off season, all the camp, we've been putting in work. And to come out there and just come up short, it hurts. It definitely hurts. But we see the kind of guys we have. We got some tough guys in this locker room. It's a group of leaders, and we're ready to get back in there, watch the film tomorrow, and get back to work.
Last question here, Lombardo.
Hey, Lorenzo. Just looking at the guys in front of you, Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, they were kind of flying into the backfield tonight. Just your thoughts on them and just how much easier that makes your job as a linebacker when those guys are creating pressure up front.
Oh, yeah, man. You got to love it. You got to love those big guys up front. But it's something we've known. We got a crazy defensive line. Like, that room right there I love playing with them. Those guys are going to fight. They're going to scratch and claw. And like you saw, they make their plays. So we just got to all just step up, everybody keep making plays, and just try to feed off of each other. That energy is contagious, and we need guys like that throughout the whole defense. Everybody can make plays, and the more plays they make, the more plays we make.